United States, according to Amnesty International, since 1976 to 2016, there have been 1,437 death sentences, which leads on to the question, does anyone deserve to die? This controversy has been brought up continuously for the past 40 years. The two sides of the argument take opposing stances on the issues of deterrence of crime, retribution, and morality. Crimes to receive the death sentence, according to deathpenaltyinfo.org, include treason, terrorism, espionage, federal murder, large-scale drug trafficking, and attempting to kill a witness, juror, or court officer. A quote from nccadp.org's article titled "Failure to Deter Crime" states, national murder rates are significantly lower in non-death penalty states than in those with a death statute, and have been for the past 2 decades. In some years, murder rates of non-death penalty states are as much as 46% lower than death penalty states. Regarding the factual evidence that there is no deterrence to crime, why should it still be reinforced today? In addition, the crimes committed to receive this punishment are crimes that involve intense passion or concern. In addition to this, under such conditions, a criminal's psychological mindset is not able to fully consider the consequences a normal person would. Although a criminal's actions in the past cannot be undone, their future crimes are able to be prevented by means of death. The fact is, a criminal cannot commit potential life-threatening crimes if they are already dead. This is the only 100% way to guarantee that no others will be placed in harm's way. So why put others at risk if there is an absolute solution to the situation? Now considering retribution, defined as a punishment inflicted on someone as vengeance for crimes or wrongdoings. Just another word for revenge. Now everyone think back to a time where revenge completely solved a situation, leaving both parties 100% satisfied. Not very likely. The idea of the death penalty is to simply fight fire with fire. It continues the cycle of death by replying to the hateful act of murder with more murder. From a psychological standpoint, how does encouraging killings benefit a society? By law, the death sentence is legal, therefore reinforcing the underlying message that murder is okay. Now, contrary to that belief, that each criminal deserves a punishment that is just for their crime. A person who commits a crime punishable by the death sentence disturbs the order of society, therefore breaking the laws at their own convenience and selfish desires. The retribution aspect of the death penalty should not be frowned upon. Overall, it's a positive for society by ridding any threat to the common citizen. Okay, so I'm not implying that any person who disrupts society in a negative way should be put to death, but instead those who commit crimes in such an extensive manner. Referring back to the original question, does anyone deserve to die? It all comes down to whether a person believes that the government has the right to kill its own citizens based on their actions. Killing criminals because they have killed does not bring resolution to the situation. Instead, it further affects the individuals surrounding the crime. In result, additional murder is never the answer. It only inflicts more pain on those those affected by the crime. Now, oppositely, dated back to Hammurabi's code of the ancient Babylonian times of ancient Mesopotamia, the saying "an eye for an eye" still occurs today. Now, although present day, compared to the 18th century, this term takes part in the death penalty as means of a life for a life. The morality of it has never been in question, especially as the dates go back. This idea supports criminals. This idea supports that criminals should pay the right punishment for their crime, no matter the consequence. The controversy over the death penalty has been and still is majorly debated still to this day. On accounts of deterrence of crime, retribution, and morality, personal opinion varies from individual to individual. At the end of the day, after all the debates, the key question you must ask yourself is death a suitable punishment?